changes to your lineup?
No.
Same lineup?
Yep.
Mads Søgaard in goal, is that determined?
Yep. He's going to go.
DJ, with the combination of this really tough schedule right now, and especially the fashion in which you lost last game, is kind of relying a lot on the team's mental toughness tonight?
Yeah, we're just playing game by game. And, the last two games, chance-wise, we've been very good. We didn't come out quick enough to start. We made some big mistakes, or some mistakes that ended up in our net. But, the emotion, the work ethic, the mindset was there. We just didn't get the result. And sometimes that happens. You can live with that. We knew, you're going to play the Oilers with McDavid and Draisaitl. Then you got McKinnon and Makar. Now you've got Matthews, Marner, Nylander, Tavares. 1, 2, 3 in a row. It's a great opportunity for our guys to see, and these are teams that are all pushing right now at this time of the year. You're seeing them at their absolute best. I think you saw McKinnon at his absolute best the other night. And for guys like Timmy and Jake and Zuby that played against him, the whole night, they get to see what level they got to get to be that kind of player. And for me, that experience is going to take these kids a long way.
Your captain was saying, Brady Tkachuk said the other night that he feels like Søgaard is in a difficult situation here. How do you make sure that you try to keep him on an even keel?
First off, for Brady to understand that at the age he is, it just shows you how farther ahead he is as a young guy than maybe where he would have been a few years ago. And to realize, and he's always looking out for the guys. Being a younger guy, though, he's looking out for the older guys. He's looking out for the younger guys. But he understands this situation. He understands how hard it is to be a young guy in this league, let alone when you're the goalie, you're the last guy back there and you're by yourself. It's not like you're a young guy and you get an older partner, or you're a winger and you get a couple older guys to help you through. You're by yourself out there. And even if you had Telbs on the bench, is probably a little bit better feeling. But it is what it is. And Brady understands this situation. Where do you get it? Where you get both guys hurt? It just doesn't happen. But this kid's going to be so much better for it. And, I'm sure there's times where he's going to, second guess himself. But at the same point, those guys in there know how good he is and know how good he will be. And what better than to play against those guys that I just said? You're playing the top three, essentially what they think is the top three players in the league, 1, 2, 3.
Where do you think, this might be a tough question, but where do you think he gained that maturity?
Brady? I think just time. I think, clearly he grew up in the hockey world, but to be able to handle the stress and of a Canadian market and being the captain on a team that's sometimes winning, sometimes losing. When you're winning, it's great, but when you're losing, that's the time you find out who the real guys are. And for him to notice that right away, to me, it just speaks volumes on his maturity and the things he does away from the rink over the last year or so. You can just see that. So I think he's just picked up off older players throughout the time, and then some of it is just he's growing up.
Just one other thing, just on goaltending. This organization, you've used 8 in Belleville, 5 here. Is that an unbelievable number to you, 13 goaltenders in one organization in not even a calendar year?
No, that I don't know what you would say. Incredible bad luck. I don't know what you would say, but yeah, that's it's crazy, really. I mean, I know that the kid from Queens started a game in the American League last week, and I know how hard Ryan was working to find a goalie. A guy goes down there in the middle of our game, and they're trying to find a guy, to play the next afternoon, say, but at the same time juggling, what if someone goes down here again? You got to have a guy to come up. So there's been a lot of, obviously, work between Pierre and Ryan finding these guys, either down there or up here to fill in. So, and like everything else, probably everyone will get healthy at the same time.
Just one other thing from me. What do you anticipate from the Leafs tonight?
They play the right way. They're well coached. Their focus is clear. I mean, everyone knows, them and Tampa are going to play each other in the first round. Who's going to get home ice, and they're trying to get their game ready for that series. And they're not going to cheat you. They're not going to give you freebies. They don't give up much. I mean, they've got 8 defensemen. They're rotating some, and they're sitting out some pretty good players on the back end there. So they're built to go. But we can't think about that. We're just going to do what we do. We play hard in front of our crowd. Guys get excited for these kind of games. I know the other night the energy was electric. It'll be again tonight, and we'll be ready when that puck drops.
The last time you faced them, I think it was one of the worst losses they faced all season when you beat them 6-2. Does your team draw some confidence going into the game, just remembering the performance you guys put up against the Leafs?
That was so long ago. I mean, I hope they draw some confidence from it because confidence is good in any scenario. But we've talked about how anyone could beat anyone in this league. So, we've beaten good teams. We've lost to teams that are way below us in the standings. They're going to be a way different team here tonight than they were then. We're a different team than we were then. It's just we've got to be at our best. When we're at our best, we can beat anybody.
Point along the way this year, did you feel, okay, Jake Sanderson is someone who's you're comfortable putting him against the top guys on the other side?
Well, I think his ability said he could do it right away. But my mind said, why put him in that spot? What if he can't? And it's just better to see where he's at before you throw him in there, and then you don't have to take him out. What I've seen, the sample size, is he can play against anyone. His mobility, his strength, his stick on puck, and he's got the mindset to do it where he's not going to cheat for offense. He's just going to try and shut you down. He'll take the chances when they're there. I think you've seen the other night that tandem of Makar and Taves is as good as I've seen this season when they're on the ice together. And I think Jake is a guy that's going to go to that level.
It was pointed out that he had 4 penalty minutes this year. Is that astounding to you for a guy that plays?
For a guy that plays as hard as he does, puts guys in the boards, that just shows you how good of a skater he is, but also how smart he is, that his stick isn't just loose in the air. People say, it's a bad luck penalty. Some guys tend to get the more bad luck penalties, high sticking, whatever. His stick's on puck. He's body positioning. He doesn't take selfish penalties, and he plays physical. So you can play physical, you can do all those things and not take penalties. You don't need to take penalties to show you're tough. He's taken penalties, and I don't even know what they would be, the penalties that he's had, but he doesn't take lazy penalties.
And last game you had him with Artem Zub, and I'm wondering, are you still at the point where you just feel like you're tinkering with your pairings in the kind of the post-Chychrun?
Yeah, they're going to go again tonight against Matthews as much as possible. We really haven't had that true shutdown, where you're just trying to really shut the other team down. And we'll give them a try tonight. Obviously, when we go on the road, we don't get our matchup, so maybe some things will switch back there. And Shabby's playing through injuries too. Let's be clear there. I mean, he's just, I've said this, he's as tough a player as I've ever coached when it comes to playing through things. People don't know how many hours he puts in the off day to just get himself ready to play. And, he's not 100%. He's playing because he wants to be out there for the boys. So to put him in that spot, to me, isn't fair. Those two will play again together tonight, and we'll see how they do.
Looking forward to this rivalry match here tonight, the energy that's going to be in the stadium.
Yeah, I think obviously Toronto-Ottawa is always a big one, and I'm sure it's going to be packed out tonight. So it's obviously a cool game, and we're just going to put our best foot forward and have fun tonight. So that's the main thing.
Easy games to get up and excited for?
Yeah, there's every game you got to kind of get up and play for, but obviously this one, the fans are going to be into it, and our fans have been good all year, but I'm sure it's going to be elevated tonight.
Scoring touch seems to be elevated recently. What can you say about where your confidence is at right now?
Yeah, I think it's a long. I've told this there. It's a long year. I think there's so many games, and there's a lot of ups and downs throughout the year, and you gotta just try to stay even keel, and that's what I've done. And you're gonna go on your streaks, and hopefully I can get on one here. But I think it's just it's a confidence thing. I think it's getting better and better each day, and I'm just trying to work at it. So.
Back to some old line combinations here. What can you say about the chemistry on your line right now?
Yeah. I played with Brass a lot earlier in the year or in the middle of the year, and then Goats is kind of a new linemate of mine, so just trying to figure him out. But it's just it's just new. I think trying to figure different linemates out, but obviously I had Brass, so it's a little different. But I think we're clicking well, and but obviously having Brass, he's such a good leader and a good veteran, so he kind of calms things down and makes it easy for me. So I'm just happy to have him on my line. Obviously, Goats has great speed, and he's very strong out there. So I like it so far. It's been good.
Looking forward to maybe your first chance of seeing Matt Murray in another net tonight?
Yeah. Last year, me and him rehabbed a lot. So, I was shooting on him here and there a lot last year. So hopefully I can go on past him tonight. So we'll see.
This is your first time really experiencing playoff push pressure hockey. What
Yeah.
are you learning from this experience right now that you can just keep building on and learning each game by game?
Yeah, I think that's such a huge part of it. I think these last couple games, it's high pressure, and that's what it's about. I think just to have these games. I know you want to make the playoffs, and we're going to keep on pushing. But just to have these games, it's going to only help us next year and the following year. So I think it's awesome. It's been fun, and obviously we haven't gotten the results we wanted, but we're just learning every day. And we're still a young group. I think people have to realize that. So just got to continue to learn, and we're just only going to be better from it. So it's going to be good for us.
We have a very tough schedule moving forward in the next few games, but you guys have knocked down some of the biggest teams in the league this year already.
Yeah.
What is it about those games that gives you a little extra?
I don't know if it gives us extra. I think maybe we're just more focused, kind of, and more attention to detail, because that's how you got to beat those good teams. And I think when you play those teams, you got to just bring your best. There's no other option, or you're going to get kind of smoked. So I think that's been our mindset, and hopefully we continue to do that. So.
Mads, I'm going to start by asking, did you hear what Brady said about you the other night? Just about you being the goalie of the future, leading this team to a Stanley Cup.
I have not. I'll be honest with you. I don't pay much attention to social media, especially after I got called up here. It's kind of crazy. So I honestly deleted some of the apps, so I don't even look at it anymore. But that's obviously some really high praise from a great guy, and a tremendous part of this team. So yeah, that means a lot. I'm glad you told me that.
Mads, can you just take us through that play late in the second period the other night from your perspective?
Yeah, I knew this was going to go. I probably think 999 times out of 1,000, it's going to be enough time to hold on to it. But it's bad breaks. It's what happens over the course of the season, and it is what it is. It's done with. We can't really do anything about it right now. All we can do is just put our best foot forward towards Toronto tonight.
And then how did you go about just turning the page, I guess, as a group after Thursday? Like, how do you go about kind of flushing the game, whether it's good or?
I think we're a group in here that knows how to respond either way. Obviously that's a tough balance for sure, but whether we win or lose, we just try to stay even keeled and make sure that we're ready for whatever comes our way. It's not always going to be perfect. There's going to be ups and downs for sure, and I think there's lots of positive from that last game. And like I said, I just think as a group in here, we just want to put our best foot forward and make sure that we're as prepared as possible to get 2 points tonight.
You're looking forward to this rivalry game tonight and the energy that's going to be in the stadium?
Yeah, absolutely. It's it's a battle of Ontario, right? So it's pretty exciting to be a part of, and I know as a group in here, like I said, we're really hungry for 2 points, and we want to win. So we're just going to do all the small things that we do to be successful to get 2 points, and we'll take it shift after shift and make sure that we do our job, and hopefully we come out on top.